I endeavour to be positive, focused. The masculine journey is about taking the right action in the right direction. But I've got to say this, okay? Because 1 in 3 middle-aged men are alone. They're single, okay? And they're single in whether being divorced or etc. And then going into December, going into Christmas, there's a good portion of those men that are going to be on their own, which leads to depression. Middle-aged men have the highest rate of suicide in any demographics, okay? And all the things that lead into that, in this video, I want to explain how to avoid those things that lead to that, okay? And even if obviously you're all good, but you're just a couple of degrees off, you can wreck your December. You can wreck the Christmas for your family. So 7 things to give you the heads up as a cornerman. Just heads up, avoid these 7 things, and you will have an amazing December and an awesome Christmas with loved ones, okay? And of course, at the end, I'm going to give you some actions to do. So you can actually put some things in place, which will help you. So the first thing, maybe grab a pad and pen, I don't know. First thing, this is to avoid, men replace busyness instead of purpose. Just busy. Everyone goes in. A lot of people. I've even heard a bloke yesterday say, "Oh yeah, it's the crazy season," or something like that. Referring to, talk about setting himself up. So don't replace busyness with purpose, okay? Because and what does that look like? Everyone's trying to get jobs done, trying to get business sorted, like the world's coming to an end, and forget the important things like family, like resting before those big days with your family, etc. Or even just failing to actually plan. We'll get to these other things. But man, if you don't rest, okay, you won't be able to be passionate about the things you love. You know, how many of the Christmases come and just collapse, okay, because of busyness, not being purposeful. So the second thing is, you're tired, so you numb yourself, right? Because you're stressed, all right? And then when you're stressed, you're not leading your home. You're not leading your environment. You're not leading even your business. It's very hard to be faith-filled if you're stressed. So, gentlemen, don't numb yourself with late nights, with alcohol, like even just, man, I'm just tired, I don't care. You may care, but you give off that. When number 1, too busy and you're stressed, you can give off that vibe, okay? This is the number 3. This is what men do. When they've got those other 2 things happening, or maybe not, they avoid honest conversations. Yeah, this is what's happening, man. Number 3, how to wreck your December and your Christmas is avoiding those conversations. So this is what I do. And nobody ever really told me this. I suppose just been on the right track for a long time. At the end of the year, I always make sure, right, that there's anything that was said, anything that needed to be cleared up. And this is business, this is customers, this is men that like, if there's anything that needs to be sorted out, hey, or any misunderstandings, I need to tidy this year up. It's finished, all right? So nothing worse than dragging things into the new year from the past, okay? So don't avoid honest conversations. And I'll tell you what, it's actually refreshing. It's a skill. I really believe it's a skill. Communication obviously is a skill, but having those honest conversations to clear the past up, and the amount of times I've done, I can think of a couple now where it's actually just releases the other people, particularly when they've done the wrong thing is what I'm getting to. These kind of things, what I'm thinking of right now as I'm talking, it's actually helped a lot of people just to set them free. Hey, say, listen, you did this, you didn't say that, and you avoided this situation and caused the problem. I'm thinking, hey mate, I forgive you, all is well. And I've asked, hey listen, my communication was bad, please forgive me. Both are set free. I'm not thinking, I'm done. It's all good, all the poison and that's gone. So don't avoid. How many of you guys have had that grumpy person at the Christmas do? You don't want to be that guy, all right? No, number 4, okay, this is a good one. Oh, when I say a good one, this is when you're aware of this, oh my goodness. So, overspending. People overspend at Christmas time. There is a massive $1 trillion marketing. There's trillions of dollars marketing. You got to buy this, you got to buy that for your family to be happy. It's not true. All right. So people try, and this is what men do. I think some men do, and women. You try and buy your way out of stuff. Particularly if you've made some mistakes throughout the year, or particularly businessmen where you've put your business before other things, so then you try and buy your way out of it. And then sometimes I reckon some people, whether it be gifts or whatever, whereas I reckon some people over the years, they just feel empty. They get into this time of the year and maybe they're on their own. Okay, or maybe there's just one or maybe there's broken relationships, so they try and buy things for themselves to feel better. Okay, that will feel better until the bill comes. Yeah, the credit card bill comes or something. Christmas time, December time, more people. The highest debt happens this time of the year. Don't fall into that. And even myself, okay, where I've lived the last 2 Christmases in the Mediterranean, there's no, what do you call them? I've been gone that long. Don't even know what to call malls, etc. There's none of that. Hey, there's just a small shop that's got nothing. It doesn't have that. All right. So what I'm saying is, with all my children, I don't have to. I've realised, I've proved to my wife, you don't have to have all that stuff. So to have a great Christmas. All right. So number 5. All right. Here we go. There's so many good things. Oh, this is good. Yeah. You end the year and just got loose ends everywhere, whether it be in business, whether it be your goals that you didn't finish, achievements you didn't, because you got distracted, all right? So like now, right, start of December, you can get a lot of things done and tidy the year up, okay? You can achieve your goals, you can achieve your things. And particularly what happens, I think, when we end up exhausted, that's a big part of it, I think. We get distracted, we're exhausted, we get distracted, and we don't fulfill on our goals, our missions, the things that are important. That's a must. That will make you go into Christmas feeling average. No one, And what happens is, people believe, this is the next one, they all blend in. If you've done one, you've done the others. But number 6 is believing that as soon as January 1 comes, it's all going to be good. That is seriously the biggest lie, the biggest hoodwink ever. This is one thing that I've been teaching a lot of men with our different programs, particularly around the Become a Better Man Challenge, and then obviously the Man Alive, the mastermind that we do, is getting really clear in November, actually, of what you want to do next year. And generally, if it's that clear, you actually end up getting all this stuff done before January 1 even happens. And I'm not talking about doing more, I'm talking about being clearer so that then you can start putting things in place. So don't just get drunk, carry on, exhaust yourself, and I'll get to it in January 1, because we know that doesn't work. It's like a New Year's resolution, does not work. You might as well just play the jackpot, play lotto or something like that. If you want to get wealthy, play the lotto. That's that mentality. Everyone knows that doesn't work, okay? And of course, they all blend in. Number 7, and this is like I just started alluding to it then. Having clarity and having a crystal clear vision for the next 12 months, for 2026, is absolutely vital for your family. It's vital for your marriage. It's vital for your company, your business. It's vital as a leader, as a man. It's vital that you have a clear vision. And I'm sure there's men that are going to watch this, and Or if you haven't done it, you've known somebody, you've been around someone where you say, what's happening? I don't know. Man, that's just like disaster awaiting. So this was a suggestion, particularly if you guys have a family, or even if you don't have a family, you have just some solid people in your life. Sit down with them and say, hey, listen, just give me a hand. Hey, let's help each other. Let's get a clear vision. What do we want to do in January, in February? Break it down to 30-day goals. If you can break your year down to 12, 30 days, I guarantee you will achieve so much, and you'll probably end up achieving 12 months of mission and goals in 6 months. That has been my experience. Once you get clarity, like that's probably the most important thing to get done now before next year happens, because otherwise you know what, I'm sure I'll get to that when the kids go back to school. I'll get to that after this public holiday. I'll get back to, once that gets sorted, no. Do it now. That's got to be like number one. Get clarity for next year, okay? And if you don't, and this is what, and your leadership depends upon it, is what I'm saying. Being a better man depends upon the clarity of your vision of the future. All right, so some actions. So what you want to avoid, okay? This is what you want to avoid. You want to avoid excessive drinking. If you're not a drinker like me, just don't drink at all right? Alcohol, gambling, pornography, okay? Overspending and isolation. Don't be on your own, gentlemen, going into Christmas. What I'm saying is get a plan. Get a plan. That's what I'm saying. You need a plan. And this is another thing for people that know of people that potentially could go down this track, is get a plan with them. Invite them to something. Invite them to take part in, maybe, hey, listen, let's get together and talk about our vision for next year. Or, hey, listen, we've got a Christmas party, please come. And if they're awkward, this is a tip, all right? If guys you're inviting them and you know they're awkward, give them a job to do. Mate, can you look after this in the party? Can you take care of the music? Can you take care of the drinks? Can you be a welcomer? Particularly if they're awkward, make them the welcomer. So and I'll tell you what, you will ensure this is a way you can help people. You can help 1 in 3 men. That's what you can. And women in these situations as well. And particularly kids, if they're away from their dad or whatever, this is a way you can actually help. So we can change the world by doing this. We can change people's world by actually doing this. And of course, remember, having a plan. If you struggle in those areas, or even if you know you're doing okay, there's more in you, you can do better. There'll be a link in I don't know, there's Blink somewhere around here, right, in the wherever, for my next Become a Better Man challenge, okay, where you level up in your family, your business, and your faith, okay? So there's that. And then even if guys want to really get started early, there'll be a link somewhere to actually book in a clarity call to help you maybe set a vision for the future. Or maybe what it might even do with the clarity call we've found lately is we're locating things that are preventing men from actually getting a clear vision. So around purpose and mission. Hey, listen, there's plenty of help, gentlemen. There's some actions there to do, but please look out for somebody who you think might end up on their own or end up going down that track of drugs and gambling and all sorts of stuff we're all in this together. Like, that affects our community, our society. Hey, listen, share this with somebody. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please do. The more men like you, if you're still watching this, the more men like you subscribe and leave comments. What it does, the algorithm pushes it out to more men like you. So let's change the world one man at a time. All right, over and out.